Welcome back to Boruto Anime Review, episode 105 of the 175th episode of the anime, Going Beyond the Limit. And the newest chapter of the manga, Bargon Mode. Excuse me. This one picks up right where last week's episode left off. We have two battles going on in this one. We have Konohamaru versus Victor. The other one is basically Boruto and Sadara versus Dappa. Which, by the way, they kind of wrap up basically this whole story. I'll get to more of that in a minute. I want to basically spoil before I get to end. So, they pretty much fight back and forth. And then, of course, in the case of Konohamaru, he gets some backup before it basically... Well, apparently that it's revealed that Victor can change his nature to use all the chakra with the exception of light and dark. Not much that he knows that. Apparently he knows earth, fire, wind, water. I think he knows lightning as well. No mention if he knows light or dark chakra nature. And he's about to basically look like he's about to kill Konohamaru, and then Orochimaru shows up to save the day. And of course, Konohamaru's like, "You're Orochimaru," yep. And of course, Orochimaru starts his fight with him. And of course, well, Victor grows his extra arms, climbs the top because he really wants to eat the fruit. And then he sort of gets absorbed by the fruit. Yes, Victor gets absorbed by the fruit. Now, I'm thinking this character may or may not be dead. It could have retconned like, oh yeah, this wasn't really Victor, this was just basically a copy, whatever, because in the manga, he's still alive. Even after this stuff, he dies later. I'm not really sure why they did this for, but they did. It's been a usual way. It's like, oh, apparently even not only the roots of the divine tree, but apparently the fruit has got the vine whip thing to absorb inside. Yep, but then he's taken out, and then of course Orochimaru starts a process to melt the divine tree. And then we have at the bottom, we have Boruto and Sadara. Boruto's trying to use his compressed Rasengan. But basically, both Sadara and him are having trouble. And then, of course, some mysterious cloaked person shows up. It's actually Mitsuke. Yeah, it turns out the reason why he's able to show up here, despite the fact he was the critical edition, was because he had an unexpected donor, mainly his brother, Log. And more unexpected stuff happens. And we have, where during the course of the fight, we have Sadara unlocking her second tier. Which, wow! That's quite something. I mean, she unlocked the Sharingan way back in... she first basically was the first using the Sharingan back in her own self-titled arc. I think it was back in episode... I think it was like 19, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was like 19 when it started. That's when she first started using the Sharingan. And all this time, it's been slowly been developing. And now, she's unlocked the second tier. I wonder what her father thinks of this later. The fact he's unlocked the second tier. Now, when Obito did it, he unlocked both tiers at the same time when he activated Sharingan, taking out a guy he uses club. He was from the Hidden Stone Village when he took him out when he was basically camouflaged. Yep. And of course, later he got the American Sharingan. Yeah. And, well, Sasuke, up until he fought Naruto for the first time, one-on-one in the epic battle, the first round in Final Valley, he only had two tiers, but basically when he defeated Naruto, didn't kill him per se, that's when he unlocked his third tier, and he had that for pretty much the entire series, up until he fought his brother, which is when he activated his American Shuriken. Yep, and then of course, then we see that, Boruto's Rasengan does work on him. It will start first we see Sadara starts cracking thanks to her more powerful, we see that apparently her training with her father did pay off because she's got a lot better basically using her Sharingan. Even though, yes, she doesn't unlock her second tier. And, then Boruto uses his Rasengan on him. Doesn't work exactly, but then he activates the super armor mode. So I got flu flaws, but this will still kill you nonetheless, that's what he says. And then Boruto says, I don't care if I lose my arm. I'm going to use this attack one more time. And then, of course, uses it on Dappa. And of course, Mitsuke kind of goes into Sage mode, and then we have Saru using her Sharingan to basically use the Super Compressor Sengun to finally defeat Deppa, destroying his hardening ability and pretty much killing him. And of course, the Divine Tree is destroyed. Also, Mia shows up here. Yep, she doesn't do anything, but she tells, basically, she's actually shocked about basically what Victor says before he got absorbed. He says, "Oh yeah, they basically willingly sacrificed themselves for the Divine Tree." I'm like, really? That's a lie. You forced me to sacrifice the Divine Tree. And then, of course, with the Divine Tree destroyed and Victor's employees all dead. Yeah, pretty much all of them are all dead. And I know what happened to the... Well, I think the Feudal Lord was taken by Mitsuko. Yeah, he was basically taken out anyways. Like, he was taken out of that. Mitsuko doesn't even appear in this episode. I'm like, really? Yeah, what the heck happened to him? They don't really explain. Like, after basically the Divine Tree is destroyed and Victor apparently is dead, Dappa is definitely dead because he's not in the manga. After all said and done, basically, Orochimaru says he tells Konohamaru he notified Naruto. Though apparently Konohamaru basically, I would think he would still have some resentment toward Orochimaru because he killed his grandfather. Also, I should point out, I almost forgot to point out, during his fight with Victor, he did point out and mention in his head, like, wait, I only know one other person who basically can do that, basically master all 5 natures, and that was his grandfather, the Hokage, which, that's interesting. And while Orochimaru goes off, and we kind of see that, oh yeah, Team 7's back together, but, well, next week, apparently, next episode, the whole village is going to lockdown. Probably because of the car. But this episode kind of felt like the finale of this arc. That's what kind of felt like to me. It felt like a finale. Because, well, they got rid of basically Victor, and, well, they took out Dappa, and yeah, definitely did feel like that was the finale for this arc, but who knows what's going to happen next week, especially since we have return of Kakashi, first time since the same Ninja Scroll arc. We see return of Tsunade. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen her in the series. I think the last time she showed up was actually making Mitsuki's disappearance. Great to see her again. And it looks like that Sasuke and Sai is going to show up next week. I don't know about Sasuke, but Sai's going to be there along with Shikamaru. Basically, a lot of the previous generation characters will be there, which I thought was... Even Kiba's going to show up next week. Yeah, a lot of characters. Basically, it's going to be a big aspect. It's going to be a big crammed episode for next week. That's what it looks like to me. Alright, so now new chapter manga. Bargain mode. Yeah, oh, in case you're curious though, what does Naruto's new mode look like? This is what it looks like. I'm like, okay. Yeah, they don't fully show in the chapter, but yeah, on the cover, that's what they show. And we kind of get basically a faraway thing of him basically using this. So, he begins his attack on Ishru. And he mentions basically that this power is similar to of nuclear fusion. Basically, a very powerful nuclear bomb. It's known as the Bargon mode. He's like, I don't care what look with your eyes. And then, of course, well, then Naruto takes him on. And they fight. Lots of fighting. When I think it's back up here. Throws his cubes at him. By the way, Dappa used the same thing too. These are bigger ones that Dappa used. And of course, Naruto was able to avoid them no problem. And of course, they also going fast. Of course, Boruto simply is just laying around. We see then we cut to Armando and Kawanki. The person here runs on chakra, right? It's pretty hard. A match. And Keats, the scientific team Kisru, it was originally created for Lord Seven's use, but so only responds to his chakra. According to him, it's like, oh yeah, he shares some of his chakra with Kawanki. So the hand functions all the time. Essentially consensually Kinika chakra. No, are you able to restore his right hand, Mr. Armando? Yes, of course. My first test when all this is over. He's due for a checkup anyways. Looking at his hands like, looks like chakra is weakening. And it kind of is. Of course, Boruto still can't freaking move. He's still basically hurting all over. And then, of course, they're like, oh yeah, powers restored. And yeah, and according to Karame, says this particular mode shortens his lives is the key. That's a downside to this ability because all chakras connect to the same power. Because we get bits of our lives, all stages of his life, contact with him. And it's like lifespan, and then Ishura is like, oh no, his lifespan is just making drink. I should have had at least 20 hours, even conceivably. But now somehow I've got less than 30 minutes. And Kurama's like, listen, don't think about taking him down. Focus only on getting in your attacks, like a boxer aiming to win it by decision. Shave out the rest of his life before ours runs out. And of course he headbutts him, continue wailing on him. And then of course like scram you lesser species, as the history says. Yep. Of course Sasuke is still watching this over Boruto. And then Kawanki activates his Karama. Like, explain Kawanki, is that what's right? Hi, let me focus. And then he somehow activates a portal. And he goes through it. I was like shocked to see that, and then he's apparently there. What just happened? I see. So that unsightly right hand was functioning with your chakra Hokage. I'm grateful, thanks to your meddlesome link, I was able to take Kawaii and drag him here at this late moment. What? No way, this is bad. And then Boruto looks like he's... we have a blink. Apparently activating his Kurama mode. Which, that should be interesting. I gotta hand this chapter. Damn good chapter. And I'm definitely looking forward to next chapter that comes out next month. Give this chapter roughly a 9 out of 10. Damn good chapter. Definitely looking forward to the next chapter. Okay, so that's it for Singular Review. And it's probably going to be a video today because I don't have more planned videos today. So until I see the next video, probably, because I don't think it's video coming tomorrow. So probably Tuesday. Unless, of course, I come with something, okay? Do the next video. Bye.